The first thing I heard was my own name echoing across downtown Seattle, carried by the speakers of the Skyline Tower's giant screen. Nadia Solis, head of strategic risk. The applause rose behind me, but I kept my eyes forward. Through the glass wall, I could see HarborBridge Analytics across the street, my old office rows of faces pressed against the windows, stunned into silence. Clara Wynne stood in the center of them, one hand on her hip, the other frozen mid-gesture. Her mouth hung open just slightly, like she had been about to correct someone and suddenly forgot how words worked. Yesterday, she had pointed at this very building and dared me to go work over there. Now she was watching my appointment ceremony in real time, unable to look away. Marcus Hale, the Skyline COO, leaned toward me and lowered his voice. "You ready?" "Nadia." "As ready as I need to be," I said. My voice sounded steadier than my heartbeat. He handed me the badge, the one with my name etched cleanly across it, and nodded toward the small podium. I stepped forward, feeling flashes from the cameras but refusing to break eye contact with the windows across the street. I didn't need revenge. I just wanted Clara to understand that I had finally walked out of the shadow she built around me. "You earned this," Marcus said when the applause settled, "and you earned it long before tonight." Maybe I had. Maybe I didn't want to think about the years I let slip through my hands, staying late to fix errors that should never have been mine. But today wasn't about regret. It was the first day someone looked at my work and recognized its weight. When the ceremony ended, Marcus guided me off stage. People kept shaking my hand, welcoming me, promising support. Still, my attention drifted back to HarborBridge, to the place where I had spent nearly a decade being told to wait, to be patient, to accept less. Nearly 24 hours earlier, I had walked into that building as a woman who thought loyalty meant something. I had no idea everything was about to flip in a single night. What breaks first did the system, or the person who keeps it alive. That was the only thought running through my mind as I walked into HarborBridge the morning before everything changed. Morning. "Nadia," Mason called from his desk without looking up. He was already asking a junior analyst to rerun a report I had fixed for him 3 times. Typical. Everyone depended on me, but nobody ever said the word depend. They acted like my work simply appeared on its own. I set my bag down and opened my laptop. Overnight emails flooded my screen requests, questions, small fires. Vanessa had written at 2 in the morning asking if I could take a quick look at her variance model before the director's meeting. Tristan wanted guidance on a tax reconciliation, the same one he had been taught 4 times. Clara walked past, heels sharp against the floor. "Nadia, make sure the audit summary is ready this week. The directors are expecting clarity." "I sent them a full draft already," I said. "Then send a cleaner one," she replied, moving on. No acknowledgement, no thanks. Just an expectation. Like always. I opened the system to review the reconciliation logs when a new email pinged into my inbox. The subject line read, "Internal compensation alignment do not share." I assumed it was one of those HR files that accidentally get sent before being recalled. I almost deleted it. Then the preview text showed a familiar pattern of numbers. I clicked. A spreadsheet unfolded across my screen. My name, 3rd tab. My salary clear as day. Right above it were the salaries of the people I trained, the people still asking me basic questions every week. Mason earning almost double. Vanessa close behind. Tristan listed with a number so high I blinked twice. My chest tightened. Clara's voice echoed from earlier, calm and dismissive. "Send a cleaner one." Loyalty. I realized then, had never been part of their equation. Have you ever found out your value only because someone tried to hide it from you? That was the sting running through me as I stared at the numbers on the screen. Mason earning nearly double what I made. Vanessa just behind him. Tristan 8 months in listed with a figure that felt like a punch to the throat. My hands shook as I scrolled. each line confirming the same truth the people I trained were earning what HarborBridge never thought I deserved. I stood up before I knew what I was doing. Clara's office door was half open. She was on a call, voice clipped and confident. Yes. The team is stable. Yes. Productivity is high. She saw me in the doorway and sighed. I need to call you back. I stepped inside, laptop in hand. Explain this, I said, turning the screen toward her. Clara barely glanced at it. Close the door. Nadia. I want to know why Mason is being paid almost twice what I make. Why Vanessa is up there too. Why Tristan Clara raised a hand. Compensation adjustments. Market shifts. You know how it works. No, I said. I know how I work. I fix their mistakes. I train them. I do the heavy lifting. So why? She reached into a drawer and slid a handbook across her desk. New policy. Salary alignment for competitive hires. That alignment doesn't include me. You were hired in a different time. She replied. It is what it is. A cold pressure built behind my ribs. Clara, this isn't alignment. This is disrespect. She leaned back, expression bored. If you do not like your salary, you can always go over there. She lifted her chin toward the massive skyline tower visible behind her window. The room tilted. My anger, my humiliation, all of it sharpened into something colder. I walked out before the shaking in my hands could become visible. What if the opportunity of your life had been waiting for you to finally ask for it? That thought surfaced only after my anger stopped ringing in my ears. That evening, I sat in my small Capitol Hill apartment, the glow from the skyline tower cutting through my blinds. Clara's words replayed in a loop. If you do not like it, go over there. My chest tightened every time I heard her voice. I opened my laptop, intending to bury myself in work just to stop thinking. Instead, an old notification blinked at me recruiter messages I had ignored for months. All from Skyline Financial. One from 3 weeks ago read, "We have been following your audit performance. Would love to connect." Another from last month. "Your variance corrections caught our attention. Are you open to conversation?" I let out a humorless laugh. Funny how everyone sees my work except the place I give it to, I muttered. Before I could talk myself out of it, I clicked reply. I am available tonight. If the position is still open, I am willing to discuss it. My finger hovered for half a second, then hit send. I barely had time to exhale before my phone buzzed. A number I did not recognize. The text read, Nadia Solis. Thank you for reaching out. I am Marcus Hale, Chief Operating Officer at Skyline Financial. We have followed your work for several months. If you are free, I would like to meet tonight. Confidential location to follow. My pulse stumbled. Several months, I had no idea anyone outside HarborBridge even noticed me. A second message arrived with a pinned address and a simple line. Come as you are. We already know your capabilities. I stood there, phone in hand, feeling fear and adrenaline twist together. I grabbed my coat before I could lose nerve. Whether it was reckless or necessary, I could no longer stay still. How do you prove yourself to people who already believe in your potential? That question settled over me the moment Marcus Hale extended his hand. He led me into a private executive lounge, quiet, warm, nothing like the sharp fluorescent buzz of HarborBridge. A man in his late 50s. He spoke with the calm certainty of someone who had already analyzed the situation 3 steps ahead. Nadia Solis, he said. We have been waiting to meet you. Waiting. My voice cracked slightly. We have watched your audit interventions for months. Your variance corrections alone saved HarborBridge from at least 2 major compliance setbacks. He gestured toward a sleek table where a tablet waited. Tonight. I want to see how you operate under pressure. I swallowed. A test. A simulation, he corrected. Real-time crisis. Data spikes. Liquidity swings. The kind of chaos that exposes weaknesses in seconds. A younger analyst stood nearby, arms folded, eyes skeptical. "Most people freeze in the first 5 minutes," he said. Marcus nodded for me to begin. The moment I tapped the screen, numbers exploded across the interface, overdue debts spiking, risk indicators flashing red, cash flow collapsing. My breath hitched. For a moment, I faltered. The younger analyst murmured, "She is losing the thread." "Give her a minute," Marcus said quietly, and then instinct took over. Freeze non-essential channels, redirect reserves, reset indicator thresholds. The moves flowed out of me faster than I could think about them. In less than 20 minutes, the system stabilized. The analyst leaned in, stunned. "How did she?" Marcus smiled. "Because she has been doing the work of a director for years." He turned to me. "We planned to announce the role tomorrow morning. If you accept tonight, that announcement becomes yours." For the first time in years, I felt something unshakable form inside me, a door swinging open. No permission needed. "Would you trust a new beginning if it arrived faster than your doubt?" Marcus asked that without speaking a word. It was in the way he set the contract in front of me, calm and deliberate. "This role has been in motion for months," he said. "Director of Strategic Risk, full authority. Build the division from the ground up. Your base salary will be twice what HarborBridge currently pays you, plus structured bonuses and equity." My breath caught. "Twice," Marcus nodded. "It reflects your actual market value." The younger analyst who had watched my simulation crossed his arms. "No one stabilizes the model that quickly. You did." That alone justified the offer. I stared at the contract. Why me? Why now? Marcus leaned forward. "Because we analyzed your work long before tonight, and because your former company never understood what they had." He tapped the final page. "If you sign now, your appointment joins our weekly broadcast tomorrow morning." I blinked. "Broadcast, we live stream all executive appointments. Full transparency. It shows the city who leads this company." A strange mix of fear and determination surged through me. "And if I walk into HarborBridge tomorrow," Marcus finished for me, "they will see you on that screen." The pen felt heavier than it should have. With one motion, I signed my name. Marcus smiled. "Welcome to Skyline. Nadia." As I left the building, the cold Seattle air hit my face. From the sidewalk, I looked up at the vast windows of HarborBridge across the street, still lit, still full of people working late. Clara once told me to go work over there. Tomorrow morning, she would see exactly what that meant. What does power feel like the moment you finally claim it? I asked myself as I walked into HarborBridge before sunrise. The halls still quiet enough for my footsteps to echo. Clara's office door was unlocked. She was flipping through a stack of reports, hair pulled back, expression already tight from whatever battle she was preparing to fight that day. She did not notice me until I set the envelope in the center of her desk. She glanced at it, then at me. "What is this supposed to be?" "My resignation," I said. Clara let out a dry laugh. "Nadia, come on. You are upset about the compensation sheet. You are emotional. Give it a day. It is final." She straightened. "You think you can just walk out? We have ongoing audits. You are leading 2 major reconciliations. Do not create unnecessary drama. I am leaving in 2 weeks." I replied, "And my workload is already documented." Clara crossed her arms. "And where exactly do you think you are going, Skyline?" The word landed like a dropped glass. Her jaw shifted. Skyline. She tried to smile. It came out strained. "Nadia, they are not going to take you seriously. They recruit aggressively, but they burn people out. You would not survive. I signed last night." Her face drained of color. "Absolutely not. That violates your confidentiality clauses." She snatched a folder from her drawer. "You have no right to take any of your models with you. Everything created during your employment belongs to HarborBridge." "I know," I said calmly, placing a second folder beside her hand. Which is why all my off-contract work is documented timestamps, device logs, everything built on my personal equipment. I reviewed my contract. None of it belongs to you. Clara skimmed the first page. Her eyes flickered, the realization slow and painful. You planned this. You forced this, I said softly. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I lifted my bag, walked to the door, and left her sitting there speechless in the silence she once used to control me. If your success was broadcast publicly, who would be the first to doubt it, and who would be the first to fear it? I learned the answer the next morning. HarborBridge held its usual weekly meeting at 9. I was not there, of course, but a junior analyst texted me later with every detail, each message vibrating against my palm as I sat in the Skyline lobby waiting for the ceremony to begin. At exactly 9:15, someone in HarborBridge's conference room gasped loud enough for the entire floor to hear. The blinds were half open, angled toward the Skyline Tower across the street. One analyst pointed a trembling hand. "Is that?" "Nadia." The giant screen flickered, then came alive. Marcus Hale's voice carried across downtown Seattle. "This morning, we officially welcome our new Director of Strategic Risk, Nadia Solis." Inside HarborBridge, chaos cracked through the room. Someone whispered, "That cannot be real," another voice snapped. "But she quit yesterday." Phones lit up instantly, clients calling, partners messaging, even internal directors demanding to know how they had lost someone whose work anchored half their systems. Clara stood in the center of the conference room, frozen. Her clipboard slipped from her fingers, landing with a dull smack. She stared at the screen as my image appeared, me stepping forward, shaking Marcus's hand, receiving the badge that would have taken a decade at HarborBridge. A senior director turned to her. "Did you know she was interviewing Clara?" tried to answer, but the words tangled. She would never. Skyline does not. But the screen spoke over her. My name appeared across the tower in bold silver letters, Nadia Solis, and the applause from Skyline's broadcast spilled through the open windows. Clara's eyes widened with something she had never shown me in all the years we worked together: fear. While HarborBridge scrambled to control the fallout, I stepped off stage at Skyline, my badge cool against my palm. The company I once held together was unraveling without me. How do you heal after years of being overlooked by Rising or by rebuilding? That question stayed with me in every hour that followed the broadcast. 2 days after I joined Skyline, the first message arrived from a former coworker. "Nadia, the system crashed. The one you maintained. No one knows how to restart it." A second message came an hour later. "Client calls are blowing up. 3 accounts already asked if you are with Skyline now." By evening, Marcus stepped into my new office holding a stack of reports. "HarborBridge just lost a major contract," he said. "Their clients are migrating here, faster than we projected." I nodded, though a knot tightened in my chest. I knew things were fragile. I just never realized how much. "They built everything around you," Marcus replied. "But they never admitted it." While HarborBridge tried to hold itself together, Skyline moved forward with precision. I attended leadership briefings, met department heads, and reviewed the plan for the new risk division they wanted me to build. During onboarding, HR handed me a digital stack of resumes, new applicants hoping to join my team. I skimmed the names and froze. Vanessa, Mark from accounting, 2 analysts from internal controls, people who had been drowning at HarborBridge long before I walked out. HR peeked into my office. "We have been getting a spike in interest from your old company. Do you want us to filter them out?" "No," I said quietly. "Send them all through." Later that afternoon, I overheard Marcus speaking with another executive near my doorway. "Clara Wynn is under internal review," he said. "They uncovered salary disparities she approved and retention failures tied to her management," his colleague replied. "It is only a matter of time before they remove her." I closed the last resume on my screen, the weight of both worlds settling around me, one falling apart, one rising, and me standing between them, deciding what parts were worth carrying forward. Chapter 10. The boundary that saved me approximately 300 words. What does closure feel like when you no longer need revenge to breathe? I finally understood the answer on a quiet Thursday afternoon, my office door half open as I sorted through the newest round of applicants. Skyline's HR system pinged a new submission. Applicant Clara Wynn. Attached a red tag reading disciplinary review pending. I stared at her name for a long moment. No anger rose, no satisfaction either. Just a calm I had never felt under her management. HR knocked lightly. "Do you want us to process her file?" "No," I said. "Reject it. You do not want to interview her. No. This role needs someone who builds people, not someone who breaks them." The HR rep nodded and closed the door. An hour later, my phone buzzed. A message from Mark, one of the analysts who had applied earlier. "Nadia, thank you. Most of us stayed because we had no way out. You opened a door they never let us touch." Another message followed from Vanessa. "I am starting next Monday. I never thought I would deserve a place like this. You made me believe it." I sat back in my chair, absorbing their words. This helping people rise instead of letting them drown felt far deeper than anything I had imagined when I walked away from HarborBridge. When my workday ended, I stepped outside into the cool Seattle evening. The skyline shimmered, the same one Clara once pointed at dismissively as if it were out of my reach. I walked toward it now, steady and unhurried. I was not escaping anything. I was finally moving toward myself, the version I had ignored, underestimated, and silenced for far too long, and for the first time in years, the path ahead felt like mine.